Today, I'm going to tell you all about one of the greatest conmen of all time.
I love these stories.
Who sold the dream of a place that never existed.
Disneyland.
This is the story of one of the greatest conmen in history and someone with the most made-up sounding name of all time, Gregor MacGregor.
No.
He has been labelled the most audacious scammer, the man who made up a country.
Oh my God, this has all my favourite elements.
It does. Scammers and making up things. Is
and
that correct?
great names.
Oh, great names as well.
And
Sorry, I forgot
Disneyland.
that one. And Disneyland as well. Well, you put that in there, not him.
Oh, okay.
Gee, it's the 1800s. You're on a big ship with lots of other people, heading to your new home. You've been sold the dream, your very own utopia. You've bought a plot of land after a very charming man, and hundreds of other people are soon going to set up their new life in an exciting country.
Uh-oh.
But the dream they've been sold is not real, and soon they will realise that they have been conned along with hundreds of others.
Well, at least it's not just one person.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of make you feel a little bit
I know,
better,
it's
wouldn't
not
you?
just you on a big boat.
Have you said where they're coming from?
No, but I will, and we'll tell you all about
Sorry,
this.
sorry.
Too good to be true. Now, what do you think, G, makes a successful fraudster in your mind?
Charm.
Charm,
I feel like we
absolutely.
discuss this often. It's
Yeah.
all charm,
All
isn't it?
charm, yeah.
And I think a lot about and maybe this is part of charm,
Yeah.
the pretty privilege thing. We're actually discussing this at work the other day when we were talking about Erin Patterson.
Yeah.
And we're saying, that the photo that's been released since
I know.
of her
Yeah.
in the back of the prison van. And we were saying, it is an interesting thing where, you see this photo of her that's not flattering and
I mean, all the portraits and everything, none of them have been flattering.
Yeah, for some reason seeing that kind of makes you go, oh, yeah, you look at her, rah, rah, rah.
Right.
Whereas then someone at work put it this way, which I thought was such a good point. Pretty privilege works in the reverse. It works like that.
Sure.
If someone's not, doesn't look how you want them to look, you can go, oh yeah, they look like they could have done something bad. But the other way around, Brad Pitt, when allegations came out about him, being abusive and an alcoholic and stuff, everyone went, no, he couldn't be. Look at
that's
him,
true.
he's beautiful.
Yeah.
Fascinating. So yeah, all that to say, charming, and I suppose that is me saying probably a good-looking guy, a Ted Bundy sort.
Well, yeah, charming and friendly. Pressuring you to act quickly and close the deal is another thing that is often prevalent in scammers. Making sure everything sounds almost too good to be true, but almost too good to be true. And not staying in one location for too long.
Oh, this takes me back to Cameron James's episode about the dodgy band manager guy.
Absolutely. Well, Gregor MacGregor has been called a natural conman.
Gregor MacGregor or MacGregor?
Gregor MacGregor.
Amazing.
He's been called a natural conman. He knew how to do it, and investing in his made-up country was very easy to get involved with. It wasn't too expensive, but you had to act quickly if you wanted a piece of the pie. You don't want to miss out, so your reluctance in being skeptical takes a backseat because you don't want to miss out on something that seems too good to be true.
May I just say, I did buy a couch this week, and a couch is an expensive, big investment.
Yes.
And something that you should go away and think about quite a lot.
Sure.
But the end of financial year sale had been extended already and was finishing tomorrow.
And Gregor always says,
and Gregor
always
told me that I
close.
should buy.
Gregor always
Gregor
does.
told me I should buy the couch right then and there, and I did. Oh my God, it's never going to be delivered, is it?
Never going to be delivered. He created enough supply and demand, being charming and someone with authority. He would even introduce himself to people as Sir Gregor MacGregor and spoke often of his family being quite high up in the military. This might or might not have been true. So,
it doesn't
who
make
was
you
he?
a sir. Just because you're
No, exactly.
doesn't make you a sir.
But he introduced himself as that, but also his connections and everything.
Right.
He seemed like he knew what he was talking about.
And in those days, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe Instagram or Google were
Yeah,
around.
yeah, no.
In the
no,
1800s?
You are
I
correct
think,
then.
yeah,
It
I
was
think
a
that
couple
was-
of years after.
Yeah, so that, you couldn't just Google him and find out he was a
Correct.
big fat liar.
Correct. Gregor was born in Scotland in 1786.
I don't know why that surprises me when his name is Gregor
I know.
MacGregor. Of course he was born in Scotland.
On Christmas Eve in Stirlingshire. He was born into a Catholic family and said to be related to Rob Roy, a Scottish outlaw, but little is known again whether or not this is true.
This is always the case with conmen,
Always
right?
true.
You don't know what to believe.
He said he was born into a very wealthy family, and he was not actually related to a lot of the people that he later claimed to be. Gregor's dad died when Gregor was just 8 years old. By the time Gregor was 16, he joined the British Army, following in his father's footsteps, which was the absolute earliest you could join the army at the age of 16.
Wow.
This was right at the start of the Napoleon War.
So what year was it? 18?
So at this point, it was, 1786 he was born. So this was, the late
So
1700s. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was right around like the, I know these dates
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
Hamilton
yeah.
the musical.
Oh, yeah.
1781. Yeah.
Following in his father's footsteps, which was the absolute earliest you could join, this was right at the start of the Napoleon War. He managed to avoid any big battles, being shuttled from place to place, and ended up meeting a very wealthy woman by the name of Maria Bowater 2 years later. He could then buy his way up to the rank of captain when you were allowed to actually do this until 1871. So very wealthy people could actually buy their ranks, which I found fascinating because it was like these rich people that had no idea really what they were doing.
But just wanted to be able to say I'm a colonel or
and all the
whatever.
troops were probably so angry at them. Yeah,
I mean that works in the world in
Yeah,
so
sure.
many ways.
It's who you
now.
know, baby.
Just buy your way in. That's what I have against it. This is a massive side swipe. That's why I have a massive problem with the English Premier League soccer and like all professional soccer. I think is a big thing because the good teams are just because they're the rich teams and they just buy the best players in the world. It's like, well, that's not really a competition, then, is it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's your
that's
big
my weekly
gripe
sport.
with the football world.
My weekly sports wrap for you.
By all accounts, no one really enjoyed Gregor's company. He became obsessed with medals and looking the part. He had a pretty middling career in the British Army. He retired from the army in 1810, but still claimed to be part of many heroic battles years later. He had a big fight with one of his superior officers and left. He and his wife moved to Scotland. In fact, they moved to Edinburgh, claiming to have been a colonel in the army when actually he never rose up past captain and wanted to be part...
When you're living on your knees, you rise up. Sorry.
That's nice.
My quota of Hamilton. You're talking about that same era and then you said rise up. I'm so sorry.
Wasn't right. He wanted to be part of the growing social scene and to gain connections with the elite. No one was checking these things if he was a colonel or not. He also bought himself a very fancy big carriage. He loved being admired and seen as a big deal, but no one in Edinburgh was really taken by him. Then he moved to London in 1811, with Gregor now introducing himself to people as Sir, which he claimed was bestowed upon him in Portugal.
Oh, sure.
He also kept claiming to be part of the many battles that occurred after he had left. So this was a big thing with him. He said he was a big part of a very famous battle, and he was one of the heroes. The Meserables, I believe it's called.
That's exactly it.
With Russell Crowe.
Oh,
he was establishing himself as a trustworthy war hero living in London. He couldn't do it in Edinburgh, but people in London were lapping it up. Sadly, Maria passed away shortly after moving to London. She was the person who had the money in the relationship, so Gregor then found himself in a difficult situation with his ever-increasing tall tales and his newly acquired lavish lifestyle.
Oh, because he's inherited her money.
Of course. Yes, that's the only reason he had money, and that's why he could buy his ranks.
And now he doesn't even have the wife kind of reigning in the spending.
That's right. Yeah.
It's going to get out of hand.
He was looking for a new heiress, but it was damaging his social standing. So at that point, he was kind of walking up to like heiresses, sniffing around, finding out if he could find a new one.
I'm going to do one more bit from Hamilton.
Okay, go for it.
This is very like the scene when Aaron Burr goes up and because he's trying to.
I'm going to do a bit from Flubber. So we're talking about our favourite things.
Flubber. Oh, my God. Anyway, he goes, excuse me, miss, I know this not funny, but I know it sounds funny, but your perfume smells like your daddy's got money.
Great.
Such a good.
I know this. You big green thing. He couldn't really go back to school. I don't know if that's an exact quote from Flubber. You big green thing. Get back in my net. I think he's trying to catch. I think he's trying to catch him.
God, you're a good movie quoter.
Thank you for saying that. I'm a real cinephile. He couldn't really go back to Scotland because he had lied that he was the leader of the MacGregor clan. So he had to make other arrangements. So MacGregor's obviously in Scotland, huge family,
yeah.
and he told everyone that he was the leader of that whole family and the pack.
Again, no Google.
He didn't want to rejoin the British Army, so he made a decision to move to Venezuela to join the war of declaring independence. He had military experience and had some connections from his time in London. So he actually just decided, I'll just go there.
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Yeah. I feel that time in history, it was kind of war on independence after war on independence.
Exactly,
Wow.
yeah. At this time, there was a fair bit of unrest in Latin America. Spanish colonies were rising up, and the Spanish are fighting with Napoleon at that time, and the colonies are picking their time to hit back.
I'm not going to do another quote, but if anyone else's brain works like mine and knows every word to Hamilton, you know what I'm thinking right here. Keep going. I'm so sorry. I'm really annoying you tonight.
No, because I'm thinking at the same time, I'm like, oh, I almost got the green thing.
You cheat with the French, now you're fighting with France. No,
the green thing got out.
The green thing got out. I don't even remember any storyline of Flubber.
What are you talking about?
Have you
The green
watched this
things?
recently?
Yeah, every night. That big Shrek. That big Shrek thing got out of my net. MacGregor gets, that's one of my favourite green things.
Hey, remember I told you the other day I got an email from Netflix saying that Shrek is leaving Netflix.
Shrekflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you thought I was telling you a cruel joke to be mean to you.
Silly thing to say to a boy like me. MacGregor gets in with the general and goes back to his soldiering life and gets in with the Venezuelan Republic. He sells all of his Scottish property at the time that was left by his father, sails down at the age of... Also, so he goes to Venezuela, at the age of 26. So he's only still 26 at the time. After all that experience, he's only still 26 because remember he joined the army in the age of 16 in 1812. He finds the city in near total ruins because of an earthquake. Because he was ranked high in the British Army, he was straight away given the rank of colonel in the Revolutionary Army and was seen as a very impressive person.
So they didn't check any credentials.
Nothing
they just
was
asked,
ever checked.
What were you, Colonel?
Colonel.
Okay, can we Colonel
I guess,
again?
yeah. Sanders? Yeah, that's me.
Oh, that was good.
Something like
That's
that.
good stuff. Very good stuff.
Very good at chicken. He was quite successful in the first 2 months, which is a real shock from his past performance. Still, in 1812, he got married again to a very wealthy woman by the name of Doña. He then gets promoted again to general. Still in 1812, so this is still 1812, the revolution collapses and he is forced to flee with from the conquering Spanish army. Now he's at a bit of a loose end. He goes on a few more adventures in his time, which I won't go into here because there's actually a lot of adventures, but he has continued success at this time as well. He had a growing reputation at the time. He told everyone about how well he was doing. In 1872, the revolutionary armies were fighting for independence but tried to draw the Spaniards away, which led MacGregor travelling to the United States. And he tried to recruit Americans to attack Florida, which wasn't part of the US at the time, but part of Spain. At this time, he is still making promises to American citizens and gets them to invest in land that will soon be theirs. So he's like, well, if we own Florida, then you can invest in the land. And he actually makes a lot of money out of this. So he was making money on the side. And this will shock you. He's making millions and millions of dollars in today's standards. And these people had no idea they were being fleeced. Once he has enough cash and can start the invasion and expand territories, he gets some ships together to head to a place called Amelia Island. It's in the northeast of Florida. It's full of crooks and criminals, and it will be the launch pad for the invasion of Florida. In 1817, all troops landed and tricked them into surrendering. There are only 50 Spanish people, and he says that there are plenty more troops on the ship, even though there weren't.
Oh, he's
So
even
heaps
conning
more
the...
back then. Yeah. Heaps more back in there. He tries to set up a government on the island and declares himself the new head of the Republic of Floridas. He tries to tax people, makes his own currency. It's his own private sovereign nation. Of course, it doesn't last. The troops want to move on, but Gregor is trying to get them to stay to enjoy the Republic of Floridas. Eventually, he loses favour with the troops. He doesn't pay them. Well, he does with a new currency that he made himself, but not in actual money that will be useful anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, and if it's his currency that he's made up, then he's kind of the authority on what it's
wants.
worth.
Yeah,
my God.
He makes worthless Amelia dollars by literally drawing them on paper.
Stop! And I'm also picturing notes like we have them now that's got someone's face on it. So I'm just picturing him doing a little like stick figure drawing of himself.
$20. And always him. A few months later, the Spanish tried to reclaim Amelia Island. Gregor decides to leave. They're all booing at him as he leaves. He has no regrets, leaving many behind with him and wishes them good luck. So this is always what he does when there's a battle. He gets on the ship and he heads off. Yeah. He then has a new spin that he actually claimed to have sold Amelia Island. He's now living large again. His wife and he have a son together who was named Gregorio.
No.
So in any circumstance, if he kind of leaves in a bad way, he's like, I sold Amelia Island, that's why I left. Like he always has a new spin on what he's telling people out there. Yeah. In 1818, he once again headed to London. He wants to head back to help the Venezuelans to help fight the Spanish. He picks up some money, which was to fund the trip, which he squanders right away. Once the troops and he arrive, he has nothing to pay them with. He had spent everything already. Instead of continuing with his troops and leading the way, he decides instead to relax in the sunshine. When the Spanish arrive, Gregor is snoozing in bed.
Oh my God.
He throws his bed out the window and tries to use that to escape by paddling on it to his ship and nearly drowns in the process.
Stop it. That's the best.
He turns around his ship and abandons all of the troops again on shore.
Oh my God.
He gives everyone on the ship medals to try to settle them a bit and kind of to shut them up.
It's like a participation
Yeah. Which is so wild to kind of do that every single time. This kind of trouble. This weirdly isn't the last time he tried something like this. The same thing happens shortly after.
It's funny as well because it's like usually when we talk about scammers and fraudsters, we say they get cocky because it's working and they're not getting caught, so they get a bit more brazen and a bit more cocky. No, this guy's it's failing every time, but he just keeps going.
Doing the same thing. Isn't that the definition of insanity? Just doing the same thing and expecting different results?
Yep.
He is said to have really shown... sorry. So when he threw the bed out the window, he then claimed that was a heroic event later in life, and he really had to spin that in a way that's actually you just fled.
You just tried to get out and you wanted to take your good mattress with you.
But people believe it again. Cracks are starting to show with troops talking about him and not showing any respect for him anymore. He, of course, leaves people behind again, abandoning his army as he sails off to safety. He's now not welcome back in most of these places.
Yeah, I reckon.
What can he do now? After 1818, he disappeared for a couple of years. No one knows what happened to him during this time. But then he reappears in 1820 at the Mosquito Kingdom, or shore, which was named after the Mosquito people of Central America.
What?
Spain had tried to conquer the land many times since the 1500s. The British at this time technically laid claim to it. There's a king there by the name of George Frederick Augustus who sells Gregor over 32,000 square metres of land. That's bigger than Belgium.
What?
A huge plot of land. It is unclear what Gregor paid for the land, but he names the new part of the land Poyais and calls himself the Kazakh of the Principality of Poyais instead of simply Sir, as he asked to be called before. This new term meant chief or prince.
Oh my God.
He claimed that the title was bestowed upon him by King George Frederick Augustus himself.
He's just making stuff up.
Everything.
Just going with
I mean,
it.
somehow he's afforded all of this land and everything.
Well, yeah.
But
How were you able to just buy land if you had enough money?
if you had enough money, I guess, and by a king as well of a kind of a sovereign place, I guess you kind of could just buy land. It's a propica. It's a proper tropical paradise, but sadly, it's extremely inappropriate for agriculture, infrastructure, or anything really except for relaxing and having a swim.
That sounds great to me.
It sounds really good. Yeah. It was an undeveloped area. He then heads back to Great Britain. It was his this was now his newly formed country that he went back to talk about. He spread the word about the investment opportunities in his country. He was talking a huge game about his exploits in Latin America, and people see his medals and let him anywhere that he wants to go. Whoa. He is hot social property. You can hear those flaps from the social butterfly from a mile away. Now, because of how everything was so unpolitically unstable at the time, it was so politically unstable at the time, it wasn't so likely there would be a new country set up. So people kind of believed that maybe there is a new country out there that hadn't been discovered just yet. If someone did that now, you might be a little bit more skeptical.
Yeah, I reckon.
Gregor did his homework. He was having pitch meetings, holding shindigs, made leaflets for his new made-up country, gave interviews to newspapers, and got people to sing songs about Poyais to garner interest as if everyone was talking about it.
Oh, my God.
In 1820, it was viral marketing.
Wow.
You would be able to buy land as much or as little as you wanted, but if you wanted to buy in, you would spend about £1,000. The average London salary was around £1 a week.
Oh.
You only needed to put a small percentage down at the time, so it was easy to buy a plot of land. So most people work for about 11 weeks and be able to put a little deposit down.
Yeah, save on stamp duty.
That's
buying
right.
off the plans.
That's right.
Yep.
Gregor had been very busy working on his coat of arms and all collateral to make everything look a little more legitimate. All the paperwork and documentation looked very official. In 1822, a book was published, written also by MacGregor, covering sketch of the Mosquito Shore, including the territory of Poyais, the made-up capital called St. Joseph, its many cathedrals, its opera house, and that gold was literally scattered at the bottom of the rivers.
Oh, come on. Who's believing that now?
A lot of people,
Also,
apparently.
can I say, if somewhere is called Mosquito Bay,
Yeah.
I don't want to go there.
No, Mosquito Shore, sorry.
Mosquito Shore.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to go there. I don't think they had Rid or Eragard there.
No.
I might be wrong.
It was a new utopia. This book was over 300 pages long. It showed an idyllic paradise. You could be a farmer there, as the ground, he claimed, was extremely fertile.
Oh, no.
And you could catch all the fish you needed for a week in no time at all. He told everyone that thousands of people were already there. But he pulled... this is what I wrote here, but I didn't read this right. But he pulled all of it out of his asshole. That's right. Anyway. He also claimed that they would not be invaded as the place was impenetrable. No one could get through the surrounding mountains. In London, he said he was in charge of the day-to-day running. Investments were through the roof, so he then sold bonds and securities. He got all the money he could, even printing his own money for cash to give to people, their currency.
I'm picturing the little stick figure drawing man.
Yeah. He had some commemorative medals for himself that he made.
Where's he getting all this?
I don't know. I think he just had so much cash at this point.
He's just buying medals.
Buying whatever he wanted. He was making a ridiculous amount of money at this point, even selling the commemorative coins for around £4,000 in today's money.
My God.
He made, and this has been differently reported, but the most common report, he made about £3.6 billion in today's money.
What?
Yeah.
Just from this scheme?
Yeah, from this scheme, yeah. He also conned a bank for millions of dollars, almost £25 million, for completely made-up country. No one wanted to miss out.
Oh, my God.
It wasn't just a trick. It wasn't discovered that it was a con until months later. Hundreds of people sailed to Poyais. Only a few returned to say that it was not an established settlement at all as promised. The people who returned told the Navy, who stopped a further 5 passenger ships from sailing there.
5 more were on their way.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, 7 in total, but they turned 5 around.
Oh, my God.
There is a darker side to this, sadly. Many, many people died on this island, catching diseases and waiting around for things to get better on the island.
God.
According to survivor James Hasley, he said that the sand was too sandy to build on or grow anything in, so too soft to actually build anything. And I don't know, sandy to sandy, I don't know if he actually said that, that was just me. And they were 40 miles from any kind of decent soil. He described the worst part was all the venomous insects, snakes,
Mosquito, sure.
and tiger cats.
What's a tiger cat?
I don't know what a tiger cat is.
Is that
but
just
it
a
was
tiger?
Just a tiger, I think. The big cat.
That big cat thing.
The big cat
with
thing.
the stripes on it.
The people were always in constant pain.
Oh, God.
People first treated Gregor as a victim of the scam too. He was so charming and respected that many people didn't believe that this would be the place that the great MacGregor was speaking about.
Oh, I feel sad.
They found out soon enough that no such agreement was made with Mosquito people, and they were all trespassing on the land. The Mosquito King tells them that there is no Poyais, and they have all been conned.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
There have to be 3 trips made back and forth for all the surviving settlers. Gregor was rolling in cash at this point, earning more money and getting new investors. When people started coming back after word had reached Great Britain, he fled to France with his wife. And this was all in 1823.
God, he's done this all so quickly.
So quickly, it's wild. He was in France for 3 years and started pulling off exactly the same scam there.
What?
Trying to trick the French in investing.
In the same Poyais.
Same exact Poyais, yeah. He distances himself from the con by doing all his business through a French company that would do all the settling themselves. So originally, he would organise the boats and he would do all of that, yeah. He had told people that he was heading to Italy. Italy. He was heading to Italy. He was heading to Italy.
He'd been in London
He was in London. He's heading to Italy. In it, love. He was heading to Italy. When the survivors returned and asked what happened to them, they blamed a man by the name of Hector Hall, who was one of the commanders of the exhibition, who was the one who actually tried to save them. Gregor was said to have been that Gregor was said to have been that charming. He cannot believe his luck and talks that got away with it about people being ripped off by everyone, and he can't believe it himself.
Oh, God.
He's been hard done by too. He's suing newspapers who are claiming that Poyais doesn't exist. He doubles down and gets away with it. Now, at this point, after scamming all of the French people, the ship in France is ready to leave with hundreds of passengers, but the French government started to pay attention to MacGregor. There were visa applications for a country called Poyais, but the government have never heard of Poyais and do not believe it exists. The government order his arrest. In 1825, 2 of his colleagues are arrested while Gregor goes into hiding.
Stop it.
But it doesn't last long.
Good.
He is charged with a huge list of crimes. He's locked up and tries everything to get himself out. He makes pleas to everyone to get him out of jail. He claims that he has diplomatic immunity because he's the leader of his own country.
Oh, my God.
The French want to bring him to trial, but another associate fled with all of the documentation and
What?
he's in the Netherlands at this time. Gregor realizes he has an opportunity. He says to the authorities there might have been a con, but he knows nothing about it. He blames it all on the colleague who fled with all of the documentation. He was in charge of all of it, and Gregor has actually been conned himself.
Oh, this guy.
He wrote a huge backstory that distanced himself from everything. The French government don't have the evidence, so Gregor is granted full acquittal.
Oh, my God.
For being so cooperative with the investigation.
Oh, my God. And Valjean went to jail for 17
right.
years for stealing some bread for his sister's
But Russell
child.
Crowe was not happy about that.
No.
Javert. He was then a free man. But Gregor MacGregor is not finished just yet. He returns to London.
Oh, my God.
And he tries to get things going again.
Stop it.
One more time, all in the name of Poyais. The third time was not the charm. It was all pretty lackluster. There were flyers published to warn people, but there was no mention of Gregor at all. Poyais had the name everywhere. It was a complete fraud.
So people knew it was a scam but didn't know who was behind it.
Yeah, exactly. He moved back to Edinburgh for a number of years until the death of his wife in 1838. He sold everything and at the age of 52 rolled the dice one more time and left for Venezuela.
Fucking hell.
He fell on his feet and found success once again. He was welcomed back as a hero, reinstated with his medals and honours and given a general's pension.
Jesus.
What the actual fuck?
Oh, my God.
He died at the age of 58 and got a full military funeral.
No.
That, G, is the story of Gregor MacGregor, the Prince of Poyais.
Oh, my God.
I wrote that today.
Well done.
Thank you for saying that.
Well done. I thought that was going to end with then it all came crashing down.
Nothing.
Because I'm like, well, we've got all this information about it, but it feels like it's something that maybe historians have kind of pieced together.
Yeah, well, it has to be. And also like going missing for 2 years as well. That is so interesting because you hear about, William Shakespeare went missing for like 7 years. They know nothing about him for, I think about that time, about a 7-year gap where you don't know anything about him. But back then... And also,
if it wasn't written down, how would you know?
Exactly. And, what's
that movie you showed me? Someone says he doesn't like fiction books.
Yeah.
She's like, what do you mean you don't like fiction? He goes, well, if it didn't happen, why would you write it down?
And they're talking about fiction books later in the film and he goes, then why did you write it down? It didn't happen. So funny. But there is something so interesting about it. And obviously back then as well, getting away with a scam of this magnitude.
Yeah.
Like, I know lots of people died. It was a horrible, horrible thing.
Yeah.
But to get away with it, people coming back, because he was so charming, people went, he was part of the scam. It couldn't have been him. He sold us the dream.
Well, again, that's like Ted Bundy. That's why he was able to kill so many women, because he was never seen as a suspect. No way, he couldn't. Way.
I heard about this today, so this morning I was
How did you hear about that? Was it on the news?
Yeah. They were doing the olds on the news today. No, it was just a random story that people were talking about con artists on a podcast I was listening to, and someone said Gregor MacGregor, and I was like, that's a made up name. And then I started like looking at it, and I was like, what a real person's called Gregor MacGregor. It's the most Scottish name of all time, apart from Shrek. And I was like, this is wild, right? And I started looking into it, and I was like, oh, this is so much bigger than I expected it could be, because you read about. And I will do at some point, the Ponzi scheme. I think it'd be interesting to talk about Ponzi himself. But there's so many interesting frauds. And you go, wow, one from that long ago, before, as you say, YouTube and all of that. Like, it's so interesting to look at a world without YouTube, but also to look at a world where it's like, how did you get away with this? And it was only by the French government going, why are all these visas being applied for?
Yeah, which is wild that none of the other governments had done that before then either. But it was like there was no paper trail. Like paper trail, that term comes from people literally writing everything down and having documentation on papers. So if you burn that or chuck it away, then
Yeah,
you run
exactly.
away, they can't find you.
Yeah.
Again, that's what Jean Valjean did.
Yes, that's right. Played by Hugh Jackman. But and apologies if I got any of the pronunciation wrong, or any of the my humblest apologies if I got any of that wrong, or the the timelines or anything of like war and everything, because the colonies and everything. There's a lot of information in there, and I tried to kind of skim over. The Spanish kind of, and Florida and everything. So, look, I really had no idea that was under
neither.
Spanish.
And I wonder if our American listeners will hate this, because I do believe that in the US they study their own history far more than we study ours, which is a blight on us. We don't study our own history much. But
we know about Ned Kelly.
We do know, exactly. And we're going to tell you guys about it one day.
Burke and Wills, we know about
but
that.
it is... maybe it's embarrassing that neither of us knew that Florida was once a part of Spain, but I didn't know that.
I didn't
it's
know
not
that.
in
Maybe
Hamilton, and that's how I know.
Maybe it's
my
incorrect as well.
American
so I do
history.
apologise about that. Look, I have.
Hey, it's not another history podcast.
Thank you for saying that. That's the new name. We rebranded. Hey, we ran out of crimes. Look, I've got 2 wonderful emails today that I want to read you,
please.
G. Also, like something I found really interesting. There was 2 different people in the research today that said they think that's where the term scot-free came from.
Oh, you got off Scottish
free. Yeah, and I do wonder if that's true. I don't know for sure if that's true.
But that
there was
that
2
makes
different
sense,
people
doesn't it? Because he got off
scot-free.
scot-free. He was never charged or convicted, and he's a Scot. He got off scot-free.
So I do wonder if that's true. Because also heard today, and this is really interesting, this is not related to this story in particular, but the saying, come here, you little green bastard, from Flubber.
God, I should have known. I should have known the tone you were saying that in.
I also don't know if that's true. All right, so this is an email that came through you guys. I just listened to the Mushroom Cook episode, and holy shit. As an Aussie living in America, I felt like I was the only one obsessed with it where I live, and I gasped when I heard G was going down there. Cut to me trying to describe Morwell in local bars in Tennessee. Love you both, Geordie.
Oh my God, Geordie, amazing.
From Tennessee, I love that.
Oh my God, thanks for listening all the way over there.
I
Tell
love
all
that.
your American friends and get us more American listeners.
I love an Aussie living in
so
Tennessee
much.
going, so Morwell is...
So Morwell, how would I describe? That's amazing.
How great is that?
Oh
So
my
we've got
God.
a listener in Tennessee, and we've got this one. Dear G and Sammy, love, love, love the podcast. It makes me smile every day. You tackle such difficult topics, and I can't get enough of the mix each week of horrendous crimes and fraudsters. Keep it up, Cam.
Oh, Cam, I feel
Thanks,
like
Cam.
you're going to love this one then.
I feel like you really will, Cam.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I do love someone in Tennessee.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
So Morwell, because I don't really know how you describe it.
Well, we
Someone
did
in
try
Tennessee.
on
We
that
tried our
episode,
best. We
but
did
not
our
to
best.
people in Tennessee. Well, we were describing it to people in Tennessee. We just didn't know.
We didn't know it just yet. Oh my God. Hey, G, thanks for listening this week.
Hey, no. Thank you so much. I love that because we were recording tonight. I was recording an episode of you, and you said, I've written a story today because I heard something and I got really into it and I just wrote it. And you're a goddamn professional. 'Cause it takes me ages to write my scripts, and you just bloody bang it out in a day.
Probably means that it's not accurate at all. But I did
It's
enjoy
not another crime podcast. We don't claim for it to be
We never claim
the
that.
best. We just claim for it to be the best.
The best.
You know?
Yeah. But I think it is pretty accurate as well.
Yeah. Hey, if any of you were around when the story happened and you
Yeah.
want to correct the timelines, write in.
Also, get in touch because we'd love to hear from you.
They won't be. I think they're all dead.
No, but pretty cool if they do get in touch because
That's
the
true,
oldest person in
actually.
the world, and we could do
And
that.
we could
do
actually
a
do
story
that as
about
a
it.
Thursday treat.
Do a TikTok.
We should do a TikTok with them.
We won't do a story about it, just a TikTok. Hey, thank you for listening to this week's episode. If you would like to leave a 5-star rate, you need to leave a 5-star
very
rating,
well done.
5-star review, because that helps it get out there to as many people as
love
possible.
That. You really shook your finger at me.
Oh, I
You
got mad about it.
need.
You-
And if you would like to follow us
Yeah.
on Instagram and TikTok or TikTok, both
Yums,
at
yums.
Not Another Crime Podcast.
Correct.
You can write us an email like those 2 beautiful ones we just heard at sammy@justanothercompany.com.au. You can leave us a voicemail so we can hear your voice, whether you're coming from Tennessee or anywhere else in this beautiful world we live. If you're in Poyais, please leave us a speak pipe. The link is here in our show notes. You can click on it and leave us a voicemail.
Yeah, God, we'd love that. Hey, we've got some stuff coming up. There's so many fun episodes coming out, some really great episodes, and some wonderful special guests that we have locked in, but we haven't recorded yet, and we're very excited about some of the special guests.
So if you don't hear any special guests coming up anytime soon,
mean they're
it means
cancelled.
that was shits. Oh, yeah.
Or they cancelled.
Or they cancelled.
Whatever. Or they cancelled. But yeah, I would also like to say a recommendation this week. I have been watching a film called... No, I won't do that, Flubber. There's a TV
Why do
show...
I keep falling...
No, because I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to do that. There is a film called Looking for Brandy. There's a wonderful, wonderful TV show that I've started rewatching. And I watched it a long time ago. There was a period of time when every night before I go to bed, I'd watch an episode of the British Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay. Now I'm watching Come Dine With Me, which is a brilliant British series where basically 4 people every single week, it's got nothing to do with crime, the 4 people every single week cook for each other. They take one night at one person's house and they go and they rate each other. And the narrator is the funniest person ever. So it is just the most brilliant series, and it is such a wind down. So if you're looking for a wind down after listening to some of our more horrendous stories, I highly recommend.
Also, know that it's very early 2000s.
Oh my God, it's so...
The fashion, the furniture and the wallpaper. Everyone's got wallpaper and loud couches and dining chairs, and they speak in very outdated language. It is amazing.
Fascinating.
And
it's fascinating.
I can't believe I've never watched it before. So my recommendation this week is to get yourself a friend like Sammy who will introduce you to these shows 25 years after they've come out.
Oh my God,
because
they're
they're
so
worth
much
it.
fun. Oh my God. And I will also I've just got news that I'll be filming my my stand-up show in sometime later this year in Melbourne.
That's so exciting.
So hopefully around September, October, but I will have details as they come. Also, if you're a fan of my other podcast, You Two Drunk Aunties, doing a live show with Will Anderson on the 10th of August in the afternoon if you want to come along to that. It'll be so much fun at Comedy Republic. The great Bron Lewis. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I was at the first live show you did, and I can confirm a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. It's so much fun. G, anything from you this week? What do you got going on?
What have I got going on? I can't really think of any stories to tell you.
You make one up?
Yeah, I'm going to make one up.
Gee, I had these green blobs that got away from me the other day.
I'm done with you right now.
Have a great week, everybody. Bye.